Wow. I just finished watching Andor episodes 10, 11, 12, and I am in absolute shock. This is Star Wars, folks. I don't care what you hear in mainstream media or what idiots tell you on YouTube or anything else, but this is Star Wars. This is what Star Wars was meant to be. An absolute amazing season with, I think, one of the best season finales we've ever seen. Yes, we obviously know how it ends. We obviously know where it goes or what they were leading up to, but even then, every moment felt intense. Every moment felt like what's going to happen next. You just didn't know. And I have to say, I am thoroughly destroyed. I think after what I have witnessed today, this was absolutely amazing. Um, I guess I'll just dive right into it, to be quite honest with you. I absolutely loved episode 10, the introduction, everything about it. Luthen going to go meet Young, finding out about the Death Star plans, and then Luthen killing him as well, showing us that as good as he is, I, honestly, I still wouldn't consider him a bad person. He had to do what he had to do to sacrifice everything he had. And then getting their backstory of how Kalen and Luthen met and how they became partners and all of that, how Luthen was part of the Imperial Army, and he just couldn't take it anymore, and he realized after seeing her that this wasn't right. Maybe he was already doubting himself, but that just further pretty much made it clear for him that what he was doing was wrong and he needed to change. His sacrifice will forever be the reason for the rebellion. I think, as much as this is Cass's story, at the end of the day, this is Luthen's story as well. Luthen's choice to kill himself and not be tortured or nothing shows his dedication to the cause and how important he knew the cause was. And I just I'm in utter shock. His character was absolutely brilliant. He may have been dark. He may have kept a lot, kept truths, secrets, whatever you want to call it. He took a very different path, but he did what he did because he believed in it and he needed to do it. And that honestly is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Seeing their relationship grow throughout the years, him teaching her how to handle herself and all of that. Is her name Caitlin? I can't even remember her name. Holy crap! Or it's Caitlin, right? Or is it Keelan? Anyway, yeah, showing all of that, it's something else. Let me tell you, like, it just gave us a little bit of history, and honestly, it was like a little bit, but it was so powerful. Clea, oh my god, I kept calling her Clea, and I'm so sorry, Clea. It was so powerful. Like, we didn't even need to know much, but we know where they came from and why they do what they do. Moving forward, Clea going back and killing, and finally killing Luthen in that sense and letting him go in peace. And you could see the tears down her eyes. Also, she is a badass. Holy crap. Taking down an entire army just by herself, just the way her dad taught her. She is absolutely brilliant. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever sleep on my girl, Clea. And that moment between her and Luthen where she pulls the plug and she looks at him and kisses him on the forehead. It's a torturous moment, but she knows what she's doing and she knows this is what he would have wanted her to do. And that's just, it's crazy because they're willing to put themselves past, like they're willing to put themselves behind in order to save the rest of the world and in order the galaxy and to their cause. It is absolutely such an amazing thing to watch. The dedication incredible. Moving forward, then she reaches out to obviously Cass to help her and find her and whatnot. And then, and Dedra finally getting caught. Well, not caught, but, finally sort of realizing everything that she's been doing means nothing, right? To the Imperial, right? You see Krennic come in and treat her like nothing, even though she has done some of the most important work throughout all of this, right? She finally found access, she finally did everything, and yet it was worth amount to nothing because they're so scared, right? And this is what this show does, right? It shows that one little piece of hope, one little ray of light destroyed all of that darkness in mere seconds. How scared they got about their information leaking, how scared they were about the rebellion. And it's incredible, right? How everything seems to be just cracking down with them. Um, and poor Dedra had to be in the crossfire, and I'm glad that she didn't die. I'm glad that she actually was alive for all of this. I'm really happy that they didn't just give her some meaningless death, because I feel like in life, death is too easy, right? Life is hard. It's really hard, right? And to live through this, to knowing that everything you've done amounts to nothing or means nothing, and you are no longer useful to the people that you have worshipped, pretty much. That's hurtful. And that's the best punishment you can ever give to anyone, to be quite honest, if we're being realistic. Not to sound dark or anything, but it's true. Um, and then going forward, Cass risking his life, going to get Clea back, trying to find out what the hell is going on. Draven totally against it, no idea what the hell he's doing, but still trusts him a little bit, right? Still trusts his captain. They go back to Coruscant for the last time, I guess, ever. Clea is there. She's waiting. She's hoping and praying. Partagaz is pretty much is it Partagaz or Pratagaz or Partagaz? Yeah, he's pretty much screwed. He doesn't know what the hell to do either. He's under pressure too, and he understands that if he doesn't find Clea at this point, it's game over. Cass gets the Clea, K2SO, Island Tudyk, commendable man, absolutely amazing. Once again, he has made us love K2SO even more, so kudos to him. Thank God they were able to get him back for the show. And him, doing what he does best, right? So amazing there. We got to see a little bit more, K2SO in action, doing what he does best. Cass and Clea meeting after a year. Cass finding out Luthen is dead, but he's, and then Clea telling him and everything, and he believes her, obviously, right? And everything, and then them questioning themselves. Clea's like, will they even accept me? And Yavin, do they even believe me anymore? Do they even believe Luthen? Right? Considering how secretive Luthen has been, and he's been here for so long, they could think of this as a trap. But Cass reassuring her that doesn't matter what they think. I know and I believe, right? Giving her that reassurance. Them fighting their way through, Partagaz pretty much realizing that he's lost this battle, right? Everything he's done, got done. Hurt, supervisor hurt, losing his life as well for what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, useless guy over there. And then, them coming back to the base, right? And again, Bail Organa being Bail Organa, like, holy crap, man. That man has been through so much, seen so much, and it's absolutely incredible how important he is, I guess, to the Star Wars lore and everything. And, him still putting up a fight and going, maybe after hearing what Cass had to say and everything, still saying, I don't believe it, I can't trust it right now, and all of that as well. But also knowing that maybe what Cass has been saying is right too. You have that, right? You have Senator Mothma after so long, seeing her um, pretty much completely invested into rebellion. We get our look at Saw into the future. I think with Saw, you know, his idea of against going against the rebellion or like doing what he does, right? Like I feel like for him, I think it was the gas that really got to him, and it kind of just messed him up a little bit and his ideals and everything. So I guess like that's what really changed him. I think that's what they were trying to show, that he was just not mentally stable at that point, and he had a different thing, and he just wanted to go out swinging and fighting and what he does best. So that all of that. Us getting even a better look at Yavin, the council, and everything. Us is pretty much preparing us for Rogue One, and also like everything that we have seen in the Star Wars universe and how it plays down. And yeah, them coming back, not trusting Cass, but then trusting Cass right at the end, showing how important he is, right? Taking that risk, both Draven and Mothma convincing Bale, but Bale didn't really need convincing. I don't think Organa really needed convincing. Let's be realistic. He's not he's not stupid. He's seen enough. He knew. He knew. He just I think for him he just needed a little bit more of a reassurance. And I think he needed others to believe as well. I think that's what it was more than anything. Um and then Cass getting ready to take the U-Wing to go see Tivik, and all of it just leading up to it. Oh, Partagaz also killing himself, knowing that you know, the Empire would never allow him to live, and it's better to die than to go into pretty much whatever the hell they were going to send him. Dedra being sentenced to that jail, right? Poetic justice at its finest, and I commend them again for doing that, not killing her, letting her live to see her mistakes, to live out her mistakes for the rest of her life. It's absolutely beautiful. It's poetic. It's ironic. It's justice. That's what it is. Um, Cass putting on his suit, getting ready, all of that, the music, everyone in place to where they're supposed to be. Krennic watching over the Death Star, you know, Cass heading towards, Saw looking over Jeddah, everything. Everything is just placed perfectly, setting us up for Rogue One. And it was beautiful. And I think the most important thing we can take away from this show is just the dedication of the people of the rebellion. But more importantly, Star Wars, as much as it is about the Jedi, and I've mentioned this in my previous review, as much as it is important about the Jedi, the Sith, all of that, the rebellion is just as important. And the people who sacrifice their lives to bring that rebellion to life, given, you look at Luthen, you look at Cass, you look at all of these people who have done everything that they can to bring this rebellion to life. So, absolutely amazing, amazing show. 10 out of 10. You can't go wrong with this. This is peak Star Wars. This is what we want. This is Star Wars. So yeah, that's my final review, and I think I guess now watching Rogue One will hit completely different, knowing what we've seen here today. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you guys, and yeah, and catch me on the next review. Have a wonderful night, guys. I almost forgot about this part. Also, the ending where we get to see Bix living her life back at that on that planet. And the biggest reveal of all, knowing that Cass had a kid. And from what it seems like, I don't think he knew before, Bix leaving, that she was pregnant. So that also hits completely different, knowing that he will be, I guess, living through his child for the remaining years, and his son will get to know that his father did something absolutely amazing and was such a huge part of that rebellion, um, which is such a bittersweet moment if you think about it. It is absolutely crazy that he never knew that he had a kid, and that at least his sacrifice at the end of the day was worth it for him. But yeah, So yeah, sorry about that. I totally forgot about that last part, and I'll catch you on the next next review. Thanks, guys.